G'day, punters. Welcome to another episode of the Mailbag Podcast. This podcast is supported by and brought to you. Couldn't be done without puntingform.com.au. They are a one-of-a-kind database which lets you get every kind of sectional and chop it up however you want. They've got class benchmarks and overall benchmarks. You can use the class, you can use the overall, you can do whatever you want. You can input your own information that you start to build your own database from which you might gain an edge and be able to bet. It's also supported by betfair.com.au and Mountain Goat Lager. When we drink goat. G'day, welcome to the Mailbag preview for Caulfield. It's like a big Vobus day. I'm not sure what they want to call it, but big prize money today, good meeting. Rail is out by the entire circuit. They're starting on the top 5. It is cold and dark and a little bit miserable here in Melbourne today. Obviously, it's not too bad, but it's going to be cold as hell at Cranbourne tonight when we get out there, and it's going to be pretty much the same tomorrow at Caulfield. Now to preview Caulfield, I've got my man Josh. How are you, Joshy?
Very good, very good. Looking forward to tomorrow. A little bit of a warm up this week with the Anzac Day card, which was quite nice, wasn't it?
A very good result for the movers, punters, and Mounting Goat Mail punters. I feel like we probably didn't get enough out of it personally, but we'll live and learn. We're going to skip race 1. We're going to kick into race 2 at Caulfield. Now, Mandela Effect is the favourite, $2.70. Call it a day. Jess Eaton gave this thing an absolute peach last time, $5.50. Bell Sonic, $6. Ocean Deep, $6. Renewal, 7s, and much longer the rest. I thought there'd be solid speed here with Call It a Day rolling forward. Ocean's Deep, I reckon, from 7 might be positive, and horses like Holy Command and He Excels will allow them to cross. Not sure where Renewal will land or Mandela Effect, but I think they'll get okay runs, and I've sort of mapped another Eclipse, which was hard to map. First Aussie start. I just mapped it sort of back fence. So, anything you want to do here, Josh?
Look, I thought when doing the race this morning today at 10:11 a.m., I thought Mandela Effect was one of the better bets on the card in terms of a decent price favourite. Scott Brunton, very good at bringing him across, has already run. Impressive win at Bendigo. Looked like it had more to give. However, they've knocked off the price and now can't really find value in it at 2.7 was 3.3. Interesting runner, I think, is to see how it runs is another Eclipse from the UK. I have this, could easily be winning this by, can easily win this race.
Yep.
Depends where it sits in the run. If it sits handy or if it's just snicked out to the back from 1. Who knows?
Where do you anticipate it will be positioned?
Look, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any sort of jump out footage or anything from it. But I think it will be taking midfield off pace. But if it's on pace, I'll be having a whack away at the button in the run, because I just think it could be a class runner. It'd be one to follow anyway over 2,000 meters. Outside of that, I can't really see much happening. I want to be on Mandela Effect over Bell Sonic, I feel. Renewal is the interesting runner with the blinkers going on first time. But yeah, I still stick by as Mandela Effect because I think you'll get a better price Betfair SP tomorrow morning.
There's something in the grass in Tasmania at the moment because these horses are running better than they should. They're constantly improving. They're travelled and exploding. Normally they sit 3 wide the trip though, and this thing's not going to do that. I reckon I want to be against it. I think the price is too short. Ocean Deep, I like. Call It a Day, I like. Both will make their own luck. Call It a Day was given an absolute peach last start, and I'm trying not to find back horses that were given perfect rides, but it probably will be again. Same jockey, same sort of setup. Holy Command and HXLs will sort of make the jockeys on Ocean Deep and Call It a Day roll along and set a proper tempo. I think Bell Sonic and Renewal are both ready to improve upon their last performances. Race number 3, we've got Twitchy Frank. Isn't it ironic that Twitchy Frank had been jiggerized?
Yeah, it's just They've just called it Frank now.
Yeah, it should just be called Frank. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Twitchy Frank, they ex Weir residual grouse horse $2.70. Think I'm dreaming. D Thornton 460. True Discreet. L Curry, who is airborne. Lucas $6 chance. Spannerhead Geordie Childs 550. Now Jordan does a lot of things right. One thing I've got concerns about is Jordan. I don't know if you picked up on it yesterday, Josh, when he was rolling past us in the mounting yard with his assistant. If you're going to smoke a cigarette, like, just suck the thing down to your lungs, please. You're a grown man. Don't bump up, please. God, it's hard to watch, and that little spit out afterwards. Just suck it down and enjoy it. Some of us aren't allowed to do that anymore, Jordan. Anyway, River Jewel, Andrew Mallion 550. Longer the last two. I thought there could be a bit of speed early. There may be a mid-race slowdown, sort of 8 to the 4, because they'll fight for the lead here. True Discreet should lead. Luke Curry doesn't fight for anything. He's just a little smooth operator. Twitchy Frank should cross it. River Jewel should be death seat, box seat, depends how you look at it. Spannerhead, I think might have to roll forward, or if they're negative, then there'll be no tempo here. Think I'm Dreaming next, and the other two further back. It's pretty hard to knock Truly Discreet. It ticks a few boxes. I'll be expecting to find it from the yard. I've got a lot of time for the horse, and I love these sort of races where I'm concerned with Spannerhead's map. I think it's the main threat to Truly Discreet. Josh.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crucial on how Spannerhead looks in the yard. I think it's much better than these Spannerhead, but it's also, I feel like it's a little bit of a thinker. Soft 5, it won at Flemington last prep when it finally got it together. That was off a very slow pace. I think it's the class runner here, but also Truly Discreet gets that lead on the rail. The one that I find really consistent ratings behind is Think I'm Dreaming, and if there is that massive, crazy tempo for the lead, this could just sort of sit in behind him, one back, one off, even if
just smoking the pipe a bit. Sort of Geordie Childs, is he sucking them in or is he just puffing them?
Yeah, exactly.
D
Thornton could just sit behind. But I just think Twitchy Frank is almost poisonous odds here. As there's that sort of a pace up front, it's not going to get us an easy lead. But you got to respect its form. I think it's won at the track. Track and distance.
I think the odds are poisonous. What have you got to respect here? That it was once with DK where you got no idea what's happened to the horse. There's no way any of this money early means shit.
No.
It's been ridden by Anthony Darman, who slaughtered a horse on Thursday. What he did to Bass is unbelievable. It just highlights how much of a superstar Mystic Journey is, in my opinion. There are serious concerns as to the setup for number one. It needs a competent ride. It's going to be a tricky race, tactically up front. I want to be with Luke Curry. Simple.
Yeah, also note that Truly Discreet sat in what we call, a lot of people on racing Twitter call the coffin, the death state, which I like to give a bit more merit to, and it's come out and won out the death seat, so you got to give something to that.
And it was Empoy though as well, I think, potentially, top of my head.
Yeah.
But Empoy at Caulfield is a different proposition to Empoy at Flemington.
Yeah, he can't get his loss at Caulfield.
It's a lot harder to get poised at Caulfield than it is at Flemington.
Yeah.
Gary punters, race 4. Oh, the Spruiked. Darwin leads the market, $2.10. Sacharo, $6.50. Legulate. How do you say that? Legulate. Number 2 for Brad Rawilla and the Kidnapper, $8. Shandy, Chris Simons, $11, and Wham, $15. Longer the rest. Now, you didn't want to talk about this race too much, so I'll quickly skip through it for the punters. Tarwin, I thought, could improve dramatically from the yard. I think the horse has not yet reached its ceiling. Duke of Magnus, I don't think should be. It makes it very hard to map these races and understand what's going to happen here, because I thought that Shea Eden has been suspended for over a year. These horses keep running. I don't know what's going on. His stats are awful. He's going at the worst percentage of any trainer I looked at for this meeting. Now, his horse, Duke of Magnus, has ability and will be positive in this race. Fiorentino should be forward. I think Shandy, despite Chris Simons, will get run a race. This is a huge opportunity for Chris to be positive and strong here from 4. It's quite a busy map behind it. Shandy and Mrs. Sippy, who Henry's actually quite airborne. Stats horse, Henry Dwyer.
Yeah.
He might be back. Green Ivy gets an okay run. Tarwin and Candy Sense. Tricky maps, huge ability, wham cast. Now, I am keen to back number 13, Shandy. Right price to find out. We backed this horse out of that strong maiden at Kyneton when it won at Geelong, I believe, movers. I think it's well placed here. Gets a nice map. Anything you want to add, or are you happy with that?
Look, Tarwin, I think, was a black booker of ours, and yeah, I think it's just under the odds, especially drawn in inside. It's going to get
It's
back.
that barrier with the lack of. There's a lot of slow horses outside of it.
Yeah, both could
It's
get
their
lost
sort
out
of
the back there.
Tofane sort of job here.
I think one to look at is Sakaro, which gets Ollie on for Archie. It's the first time on the horse, and comes off, I think it was a complete excuse job, possibly out of Caulfield. So yeah, that'd be the one. He goes up to the mile. That'd be the one for me. Gets the class jockey on. The blinkers go off. So possibly hinting of a quieter ride.
But the hashtag data, puntingform.com.au, is the database that I use and you should all use. It sort of made me question whether Cesaro with Ollie on wants to be getting a mile or if it's more a 400-metre horse.
Yeah.
So,
it's questionable.
Its peak figure is at a mile, but the way it's running this prep, I thought maybe 400 is better suited. Duke of Matt, there's a few horses here. Like there's horses here that we don't know everything about yet. I think Shandy's the most exciting prospect.
What did you think of, just quickly, Wham?
I thought it ran huge at Bendigo but it was a gigantic SP.
Yep.
It's ran well last start at Caulfield, which is the biggest figure it's ever done. The map's awful here, again.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tricky map. And tricky race, really.
Really tricky map, and I'm happy just backing Shandy. We've backed at bigger odds than it is now. And just, provided it jumps well and Chris is somewhat positive early, we should be, if good enough, presented at the top of the straight to win.
I did think he sort of got caught napping that race at Sandown. He should have made a move just a little bit sooner, but it was a pretty positive ride by him.
Yeah,
beaten by a better horse, Big Night Out, who run well yesterday.
Really well yesterday. Race 5, 1100 metre sprint. Hal Vorsen 440. Columbus Circle 450. Thine is the power 440. Fine Dane, Pat Maloney, your mate $8. Endahar $9, and Spielberg, the original Tinder mail horse, $10. Have you got any mail on Spielberg off Tinder, Josh?
That mail's gone. I just like this maiden mail.
What'd you do?
Yeah, it's gone. It was one and done. It was great.
Anyway, we'll get the map out of the way. Jacinko should lead Columbus Circle. I thought would roll forward, maybe sit OSL. Fine Dane in the coffin. Divine Tycoon, one back, one off. Zizi, Lafili, cast. Ashtrain, cast. Halvorsen, tricky map. Andrew Mallion, scary, scary behaviour. More bricks, cast. Spielberg, the Tinder horse, gets a nice run. So does Thine, his power from 3 with Willow. Just needs a bit of luck, but he'll wait and he'll be patient. Craig, do you want to bet here, Josh?
Look, I think Columbus Circle was a coffin last start, if I'll bring that up just briefly. And it ran well at a big price because everyone seemed to forget about it as a big spruik horse. But
not the Mounting Mail. Well, I'm pretty sure we backed it.
Yeah. Yep, you did. Gave it a nice push, so just added the confidence. Depends what Willie does and doesn't get lost or fancy with Thine is the power. It's the horse I really wanted to follow. However, I'm not sure the price right now is the right price as a non-winner. This prep hasn't won since its about third start.
I would say one thing. It's going to go one way or the other. I reckon it's going to drift, firstly.
Yep.
Thine is the power, and it's been drawn outside, off the top of my head, or been put in positions in the run of horses that were drawn outside. It's now drawn inside. So this could really improve it, or it might hate being inside horses as well as not get a run.
Yep. I think I do love Halvorsen as a horse. I would probably prefer to be on that rather than Columbus Circle. I know there's a bit of a discrepancy in the price, but I'd rather be on Halvorsen. Just it jumped well last start, and Malian just took it to the back when he didn't need to. It could have been more positive. I know it's a finish off horse, but it sat more positive against Tin Hat. And it finished second behind it, and it has before. So I think it can sit more positive and possibly just lob over the top of these. So if I was to bet, it'd be Halvorsen here.
Very tricky map. My thoughts probably are by the Mountie Mail. I will adjust as the day unfolds. If fence is off like last week, but there's a bit more rain, so it's harder to lead and win unlike last week. Then horses like Halvorsen and Bahar, I'm a bit keener on. If it's on pace, I don't want to know about them. I'm sort of looking at Gentico, Columbus Circle, even maybe a horse like Divine Mr. Tycoon. It's going to get a nice run from 2. Thinus the Power, and Spielberg. Anyway, that'll do us for race 5. We'll kick over to race 6. Well, Prince of Sussex, you gigantic non-acceptor. $2.90. Sartorial Splendor, $4. Are you going to Splendor in the grass this year, Josh? Are you about the right sort of pedigree and age to do so?
Mate, it is a Group 1 card. It's like a Derby Day card almost. And,
but you're not going, are you?
I'm not going. I'll be in Europe.
Because you hate it.
Yeah, better places, greener pastures.
There's no more lush than Byron Bay the last week of July, let me tell you. Stand to attention. The next in the market there at $8. Flow Star $9.50 and Groot $11. Hightail Chris Simons $19. Sister for Luke Curry $26 currently with the tab. Longer the rest. Okay, I will attempt a speed map here. Sartorial Splendor from 1 has speed. MD. All right, MD's drawn on the other thing. Jordan Childs probably holds lead, I thought. Flow Star from 6 has speed. Oliver will probably let 1 or 2 go across him. Hika Express, Magna City, Oh So Rewarding, and Geraldine's Jewel all have speed. Or will probably be forced to use it or be cast. Probably going to be unsuited either way. Star and 3 legs in the air from 4 and 5 I think will hold lovely spots. Star in the coffin. But in a big race like this, I think the coffin's okay. Prince of Sussex from 8, MD. This is a real test for where Michael's at. This is a tricky map. For a horse that's only let down once in its life, but Jesus Christ, it was impressive when it did it. Wasn't it fantastic that they scratched that horse from Seymour that week when we were set at $3? Fucking hell. Anyway, First Dawn, I think gets a nice run. Stand to attention. No gear changes advised. Disappointed. Been in the black book for a fair while. Comes from a solid maiden. I think it's at Kyneton, potentially off the top of my head. I thought it could roll. I thought it could be more positive early, last 2 starts. So maybe it can here. Groot, okay map. Lucifer's Reward, Hightail, Cast. And then the others bring up the rear. I think there'll be really good speed here. I thought Star was a good bet here each way.
Yeah, definitely with you there, actually. Considering it had it was a bit of a sprue course, classic McAvoy sprue course. I think, it'll map pretty well. There will be a crazy pace up front, so it'll be interesting to see what Curry does on it. A lot of spruik about Sartorial Splendor. I think.
It's just because the great man's just declared it.
Well, yeah, Sadler actually said
it. He's pissing himself. Sad's a bit at the pub right now, just going, can you believe it?
Sad has said it's the best horse he's trained, apparently. So feel sorry
from John.
Feel sorry for a bit of Nature Strip, who he's trained, and he's trained that. So I thought that would have been a better horse. But anyway,
Sad's is like my dad's age. He probably forgot.
Yeah, true. And he's only had it for 2 starts and lost both times. Got willowed 1, so not a great record. Hightail was an interesting runner who I thought possibly, but gate 17 with the Channel 7 presenter on board.
Hang on, which horse is this? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm not bagging because I know he gets a bit narky at people, but he's got to be.
Who does?
Chris Simons.
Well, that's why he's been. That's why he's been eyeballing me, Chris. Chris, we're just talking about wagering.
Yeah, we're talking about wagering here.
I think he's an outstanding human being and a Group 1 ambassador for the sport.
If he gets this to finish in the top 5, that'd be pretty impressive from 17, I think. Group was also an interesting runner because it's got that I Am Immortal form line. So possibly looking at that. But this favourite is interesting. But with the 2-year-olds, you never know. Loving Gabby was impressive, on one day and then hasn't been seen since. I know it's been unlucky, but it's hard to keep a consistent sort of a letdown horse in terms of 2-year-olds, I believe. So yeah, I won't be getting too involved in the wagering space here.
Yeah, I'm tipping 6 star each way. I'd probably be happy to lay Princess Sussex up to like $3.50. I think it's just all on Spruik. You can see we can all see the time. It's 2019.
Actually, I think
it's a long way off like benchmark.
I think the horse I found was actually Flow Star.
Yeah, he can win.
Was a second behind Muse. Gets Ollie on with his old mate Clinton.
Well, and it maps for the perfect Oliver controlling ride. Yep. Perfect to have him sort of one pair off the fence. Horse with good speed.
Yep, that's the horse that I'd be interested in if it ticks a box in the yard.
Okay, race number 7 is a 2,000 metre race where Mr. Quickie dominates the market at $1.65. Mahatma Dias, $3.70. Suppressor for Harry Coffey, 14s. Runaway, $15. Barry the Baptist, $17, and Longer the rest. Look, I'll quickly do a speed map here, but this race is of very little interest to me. Runaway should lead. Remember, the name gets a lovely run, and it's the only horse I could entertain as a bet. Barry the Baptist next with Admiral's Draker, Suppressor. Street Spun, a bit worried about where it's going to land. Missed Quickie from 1. No speed in this race. Not ideal. Mahatma Dias. Yeah, it'll be last. I highly doubt MD's going to kick along at a super like speed here on Runway. Remember, the name will be right on its back. If you need to bet, remember the name's the way to bet, in my humble opinion. Anything else from you?
100% with you there. Remember the name. Should get a nice ride. Ollie will put it in the right spot. Interesting one I thought was Suppressor. Hasn't been seen, hasn't resumed to that Australasian Oaks form sort of since. However, it does get back to 2000, goes back to 2000, which it won over the Australasian Oaks. And it does enjoy the soft, and it comes off a complete run of excuses. And Harry Coffey jumps on, which is not necessarily a positive, but not a negative.
It's actually a negative at the moment.
Harry. Well, depends.
I'm panning.
Yeah, I'm not completely. It does. It's a ploy to Coffey. That's what I'm saying.
It's a what?
It's a Michael ploy to Coffey ride. So who knows?
Yeah, I'd rather be poised than Coffey at the moment.
The only thing I'll say is that Coffey rides his horse a lot, and I think there's a thing. I think that's a big thing. That's probably sort of just missed in form is jockeys with certain horses, and when they've ridden them a lot, they know the traits of them. So if it does kick into second gear, then it's just an interesting horse. But I'm with you there. Remember the name. First time 2,000 metres, which is quite interesting.
Okay, race 8, 1,600 metres. Widgie Turf, $1.70. Waging War, Craig Williams, $5 chance. Think Blue, El Curry, $5. Eagle Ridge, 21s. Carzio, 31s. Laughing Air, 41s. And Longer the rest. Speed here. There's a little bit of it. All too hard to handle. An Elite Drake should lead them up. Indiana Lily could even put more speed into this. Never Again and Eagle Ridge get lovely runs. Raging War Widgie Turf. Little bit of a tongue twister there. Both will land fence near the rear. Casio and Think Blue sort of midfield off, laughing and last. I don't know what to say about this race. I don't want to back Widgie Turf, but this guy gets him to... He's a grand final trainer, as they say. And this is the best horse in the race by a fair way. So,
Yep.
do it
I
for
think,
that.
to be honest, I'll be backing. I'd rather take Widgie Turf. Since Widgie Turf and Mr. Quickie are similar prices in their own respective races, I'd rather take Widgie Turf.
And a thirsty, hungry, starving Brad Wheeler.
And I think Brad can actually sit more positive. It actually sat quite a bit positive in its 2 starts before going up to the Doncaster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it landed 1 pair up, 1 pair back, despite no change of
and
tactics.
it had that big battle with Ashlaw the race before. Was the fastest last 200 of the Doncaster. So you can't discount that. So that just ticks with all boxes here for me. If it drifts to $2 or something, I think it's just a crazy price, but probably won't. So I think it'll get scratched here probably as well. And it could end up spending 1.5. But it's a bet if you're getting $2 for me.
Okay, race 9, 1,200 metres. And speaking of Ashlaw, it's third favourite here, $3.60. Miss Leonidas, after a $21 SP, massive win for me and mine, is now $2.50 chance with D. Oliver getting on board. Iconoclasm, one of the champion horses for the residual grouser in DK Weir. Now first up, New Yard, $3.50. Miss Vixen's been airborne of late, $15. Late charge, Nikita Berryman, $16. Longer the rest. Speed here, Josh, my man, is
Fast.
Leonidas from 11 surely just burns across, but then it's D. Oliver, so does he? Don't know. Ashlaw's quick. It won't be getting bullied here. It's got speed. Sarasar, the 8. Just look it up, punters. It's the 8. I don't know how to say it. It's got speed. Canelo's got speed, but they often a little bit scared and give way. Iconoclasm could lead this. Probably won't first up. Unsure. Iconoclasm paraded awful first up last prep at Moonee Valley and was rolled by Merriest. I was dominant favourite that day. I think it's the most exciting horse. Miss Leonidas, hard to catch. You must buy the Mounting Yard Mail or get on course and watch it parade. How it parades is key. And if they all go forward and really put a lot of speed into this, Miss Vixen is airborne.
Yep, correct there. Miss Vixen will be lobbing over the top if they go too quick and all gas themselves. Iconoclasm just seems crazy at the odds. I know it was a class runner, but I think this might be... I think it has won over 1,200, but I think it's a bit too sharp for it, and a lot of question marks with the new stable. And I'd rather be on Ashlaw to bounce back. However, the map scares me. But for me, I will be betting Ashlaw. I think I'll get a decent price. My money might come for Iconoclasm stupidly.
Stackhouse figures are huge at the moment.
Yep.
I never
Underrated.
thought I'd utter those words on a podcast, but I am.
And yeah, Miss Vixen, like you said, if the pace is on, then it can just lob over the top.
Okay.
And also one I'd just like to say is, I don't know how, but I think I could find some reason to back Demonstrate. I think it could get that fast pace.
You sweet.
Mick D might weave some magic, and it'll just pop through. And I think the tab might be crying that they put up $81.
Fair enough. All right, my best bet on the card, race 3, number 2, True Discreet. I also like race 4, number 13, Shandy has a little bit of value, and then I also am tipping and betting race 6, number 13, Sister. Anything from you?
All right. I'll just go race 2, number 1, Mandela Effect. I think you get $3 on the day is my best. Think I'm Dreaming is a good bet in race 3, I'd like to say. And to give someone some sort of value, probably Remember the Name.
Oh, good tipping.
I like it.
All right, guys. Yep. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Josh, thank you very much for joining me to preview this meeting. I look forward to betting with you on Saturday. Guys, this is powered by Punting Form, puntingform.com.au. If you're going to use a database, get on there and give it a go. And betfair.com.au. If you like betting and taking the best odds available, that's where you should be betting. And also go Lager. Bye-bye.